Alright folks, welcome back to another anime dimension video. A lot of you guys actually have been commenting in my last two videos wanting this specific one because it's supposed to help you guys figure out what you want. Since the game is so new, nothing now is endgame, things will change down the road. But for now, the roster that we have available in the shop where you can spend your gems, there is 6 total 1600 gem units. Let's classify them as S rank units, the best of the best. So in this video specifically, I'm going to go through every single one of these units. I will purchase them, put them in an actual dungeon run, and tell you what I think is the best unit so far. I can tell you the perks, the cons, and why you should or shouldn't get them. As a so far endgame character, being level 50, the level itself doesn't really matter. However, the bag, the cards that you have do. But the cards I use so far has to have at least attack percentage and critical chance or critical damage. So there you go folks, card goals. 2 reminders before I even start. This game is still pretty new, and if my opinion somehow changes down the road, it's just because I figure out something new or they change things. Definitely go to the character testing place just to figure it out yourself, because you can test every single one of these characters absolutely free. But of course, because it's testing place only, you won't be able to bring it into a real scenario or equip cards that are your equipment, you know, the bread and butter of the game. Maybe you guys should stop simping me and go and play or something. Now I'm gonna go back and buy every single one of these 1600 units. I don't have Gojo yet. I don't have Megumin. I don't have Todoroki yet. Now I'm gonna buy Zenitsu. Alright, we'll go by order. Alright, let's go through some of the skills. First skill, Cross Slash, Projectile. Second skill, Flying Slice, goes through your targets. I don't think it gives you an iframe, but it's fast enough to kind of unintentionally give you an iframe. And third attack is Mana Burst. It's a pretty narrow beam blast in comparison to some of the other units, but it's high damage. And overall, Saber has low cooldowns, so this is not a huge problem. I'm gonna gather all the mobs up and see if I can Excalibur them. My final attack with a long 40-second cooldown. Excalibur. Ah, not bad. Oh, there's a unit in the back. Oof. So far, so good for Saber. I played it a few times. I have my complaints about it, but I'm trying to see if I can visually capture those complaints and visually show the perks of her. Just remember your Cross Slash and your Flying Slice. Individually, I don't think they can one-shot units individually. You kind of have to combine them together to get the perfect kill. Whereas Mana Burst, you can one-shot units if you can land. But the problem is, like I said, it's a little narrow, so you won't be able to hit all 3 units if it turns out there's 3 in a group. My problem with Excalibur, you know, the final attack for Saber, is that even though it does insane amount of damage, the AoE range on it is really doo-doo. So let's say I was up here, Excalibur. I know it seems like I might be missing because of this ledge right here. That's not the case. It's because Excalibur's range is kind of lacking. Don't get me wrong though, she is broken OP when it comes to fighting bosses. And since there's only one other unit I can really compare her to, which is Rimuru, and that's the unit I've been just kind of been playing the game with, when it comes to AoE and range specifically, Saber is lacking. And that's why you have to fix it with positioning. You gotta position yourself slightly better to make sure you're using your Mana Burst at the right time. At the same time, see your Flying Slice, your second attack, use that strategically to avoid damage, which means it actually could be a perk for those of you who are more mechanically aware. But for those playing on mobile or just more simple devices like maybe a Chromebook, it would probably place you like in damage. Excalibur. Yeah, high, huge damage. Saber's not really great with regular mobs. Yeah, see that Mana Burst? Couldn't kill that arrow demon on the left, nor could it reach the ones on the right. Alright, let's go for the final boss and see how we fare against it. That damage is crazy. Alright, so I guess the final verdict is if you guys want an easy time against bosses, And trust me, this is considered easy already. I took a lot of damage outside of boss fights, so it's kind of more my fault. But if you guys want an easy boss fight, go for Saber. For now. But you do have to work a little harder. I hope that made some sense to you guys. If you ever are questioning this, go and check your cooldowns, go to your character tab, and it shows these numbers are cooldowns. So basically you can see what skills are spammable and what skills aren't spammable. Okay, alright, so this is our tier list so far. I didn't go to tier maker to make a list just because I was lazy. Saber in the S rank category. I don't know if she's the best S rank so far, but she's pretty promising. Alright, next up we have Gojo. A lot of people talk about this unit just because there isn't much games that really show his flashy skills. I know Jujutsu Kaisen's been really popular recently, so people are like trying to make this character like work. They're like, oh yeah, Gojo's the best. But we gotta test it out to really determine that. Off the bat, I haven't tested out most of the other characters yet. This is just a playthrough. So if it somehow ends up with me being wrong, then I'm wrong. Alright, first attack, blue. Projectile. That didn't kill them all, but it did 900 damage. I think it was slightly higher than Saber's projectile. And then we have red. Wow, that range kind of sucks. Okay, off the bat, I'm not too crazy about that. Like, 2 of my first skills couldn't one-shot the mobs. I'm hoping my dirt one does, so it balances out. Curtains. Okay, it did, so it's not terrible. But as you saw, like that took a bit. It was a damage over time. It was not something you can one-shot immediately. Alright, okay. We're gonna gather this group up here. Whoa, dog. Hollow purple. Oh, wow. I gotta test the AoE on that and then the damage on that with the bosses, because I don't know if it's as useful as it looks. Alright, hollow. Well, I mean curtains. It's not a bad skill. It's just that you have to get close for damage over time. If I have to get close, I want to kill them fast. So I'm not taking damage while I'm running around. Hollow purple. Hell yeah, that was high damage. See, now the ultimate attack was amazing. Like, I think everyone's ultimate attack is freaking strong. I would say he's definitely much easier to use than Saber, just because most of his skills have a pretty decent sized hitbox. Even if it doesn't automatically mean I can one-shot the units, but on a mobile device or, I don't know, a Chromebook or something, look at Curtains. Curtains is alright if you can tank the attacks. Curtains is useful. Surprisingly, I'm not taking much hits, which is insane. Whatever I'm doing with Gojo right now that's allowing me not to take hits, thank you. Hollow purple. Yep, that's an iframe. I completely didn't see it the first time or second time. Wow, what? Did I miss? I definitely think that Gojo is a character that's pretty on par with Saber and Rimuru. I like to bring up Rimuru. Alright, let's see. Blue. Yeah, I have no reason why. It has a pretty high combo, but is it Curtains that's making it OP? Oh no, I think it's a skill cooldown. Yeah. Alright, this makes more sense now. It's because I'm able to spam these skills quite often. What, 6, 7? And I think Hollow Purple is a pretty awesome AoE. With huge range. So I'm not saying this character is better than Saber. I think Saber has a higher damage output. However, if you can aim correctly, yeah, you should not be able to miss your ultimate. And his cooldowns are pretty awesome. I guess I'll place him right next to Saber. Gojo's pretty good. Alright, let's try Megumin next. Alright, let's see. First skill, Flame Burst. That did not that much damage. I think it kind of missed too. Flame Beam. What? Alright, I'm gonna try Flame Burst again. Interesting. So, from what I can see is every character has 2 skills that can't one-shot the mobs. Alright, I gotta try out this explosion to figure out what's up. How did it not hit you? I know I'm testing out this character for the first time, but I'm a little disappointed already. Just because it seems really buggy. And the damage is kind of lacking when it lands. Alright, I'm gonna hope that I can do a lot better with bosses so I can redeem myself. Explosion. It's not a bad damage ultimate. But already off the bat, I'm feeling like this character is already not too worth it to buy for 1600 gems when you have much better choices. I'm sorry, simps. I'm roasting your character. I'm roasting this wizard nerd. So like I said, this character is slightly buggy. Slightly buggy. A little buggy. And I hope they fix it in the future. It might end up being pretty good because they had some pretty awesome explosions. Because I really like the flame burst, like in graphic wise, but yeah, it's not too practical. Oh, that nuke is awesome. But I'm pretty sure other characters can do better. Alright. Sorry, buddy, you're going to A rank. Okay, so next up we have Rimuru. So first off, I think the downside for Rimuru is her cooldowns. His cooldowns are really long, but I believe 2 of his attacks are able to one-shot the entire group. Gluttony is 1, keeps you in place, where Black Lightning isn't. And then there's Flare, which is like a damage over time skill. But you can shoot this, and it's a huge AoE. But since everything is such a huge AoE for Rimuru, like that's why I chose to use him, and that's why I think he's also the most noob friendly. When I use God's Wrath right here, I can literally hit 3 groups of units. Anything within my screen is done. As far as the testing goes so far, there's no other character that can do that yet. I used them against bosses so far, and they're good, but they're not as fast as maybe Gojo and Saber. But when it comes to regular units, like, you know, regular units like these, easy, bro. And Gluttony actually isn't too narrow, so you can hit most of the targets. I love this iframe. It's like the longest iframe ever. It does waste some of your time if you're looking for speedruns. So Rimuru might not be the best character for speedruns. Or maybe he is, just because he has so much AoE. There isn't a better character when it comes to full-on AoE damage and getting mobs killed overall. So yeah. Gotta take it more serious. I get distracted sometimes and I end up getting hit quite a lot when I'm recording. By the way, like, I know I haven't mentioned this yet, watch out for these rocks. Sometimes they slow you down from running away. It's easy to get stuck. Alright, here's my final verdict for Rimuru. Is it the highest damage against bosses? No. Is it the most AoE that you can do without really even needing to aim? Yes. I mean, yes, you have to aim, but what I'm trying to say is the hitboxes are bigger on Rimuru. But that's where it comes down to mobile players or people who just don't have great internet. Rimuru is probably the way to go. You can probably solo the easiest on Rimuru. It requires less micromanagement because your ultimate is just ridiculous. You can clear out 3 groups mobs at the same time. So there we go, guys. Rimuru. I'm gonna place him in an S rank. Okay, next character. And we have Todoroki. Todoroki has one of the flashiest skills ever. It looks probably the best. It looks the best. But how practical is it? I guess we'll find out. Okay, first skill, Ice Wall. Fire Fist. And then next up we have Firewall. Okay, Fire Tornado around me. I want to figure out if it's doing burning damage, because if it does, it's going to be pretty broken. Alright, I'm going to gather the group up here. Together. Because I know Todoroki's ultimate attack should be a huge AoE. Oh, yo. I think that AoE is on par with Rimuru's. To be honest, it might even be bigger. I'm not sure. I like Firewall though. Firewall is like a bigger curtain from Gojo, and I'm pretty sure Firewall one-shots. It's burning. Yes. Burning damage always works out so good against bosses. All right. There we go, ultimate. Let's see how much this does. Firewall. Man, Todoroki is pretty good. His hitboxes are insane. But I'm kind of feeling like he's a little sluggish. Like his cooldowns are a little long. Let me see if his AoE is gonna hit that group over there. Yes, it does. But it missed this one here. Okay, so it's not as well-rounded. It's not a good circle. Ice wall. Ice blah blah blah. Ice fire. His third skill, firewall. The burning actually does not that much damage to bosses. Oh wow, what the hell? Firewall. I like it a lot, but it didn't seem super practical against the boss at first. And I'm gonna place my character right here, use a freezing heat wave. Yeah, he didn't even hit any of the units behind me. So is this quickly gonna discredit Todoroki? No, I don't think so. The damage isn't something extremely spectacular. But I think the rest of 1, 2, 3, those attacks are great. Every one of these attacks has a decent sized hitbox, and I think 2 out of the 3 can one-shot any group of mobs. So there we go. My verdict is, so if you like Todoroki, he's not a bad unit, but is he the best? He's probably not the best. So I'm gonna safely place Todoroki right on the S rank, but I'm definitely understanding that it's gonna be more like this. I don't know. Just he's S rank worthy, but a low S rank worthy. Alright, should be the last 1600 unit I reveal, and this is Zenitsu. As I know, Zenitsu has the lowest cooldown overall, so which means he should be a pretty speedy character. Yeah, it even says speed on this character. Alright, let's see. First skill, flash. Oh wait, I missed. Okay, fine. Second skill, six-fold. I don't know if that's an iframe. First skill, flash. Dude, he is quick. It's insane how fast he is. Alright, let's see if I can six-fold flash. So I think both skills together, flash and six-fold, can one-shot regular units. But I know Kawami can. But the range on that isn't super far. But the cooldown on all his skills are so crazy. It's so spammable. You literally can spam flash and just zoom around the map. I might be able to do quick speed runs with this, so dang. Thunder God. Yeah, that ultimate is not that great for mobs. We'll have to try it on bosses to see how good it really is or not. I am super impressed with how fast I'm doing runs right now, even though I admit like the final attack didn't do that great. The rest of everything else is amazing. The range is kind of short though, so you gotta make that up with moving around faster with, you know, the spammable keys like flash. Alright, let's try Thunder God. AoE on it isn't great. The damage is pretty good though. They're like, what, almost 5k? I'm pretty sure Zenitsu is the fastest character out there. Just because of the movement itself. It actually might make it easy for people to do speedruns. And it might end up with Zenitsu being the fastest character to clear runs. But it also means that you probably need really, really good gear. Like maxed out gear in order to really utilize it. I'm taking so much damage. And I'm not really taking it on purpose, bros. It just... Ow. Hope I don't die. Oh my god. If I die, I'm gonna be so angry. That didn't make any sense, by the way. By the way, quick tip. It takes 26 hours to AFK to get 1600 gems for a unit. So, I guess you should know that. Alright, redemption time. Oh crap, come on, bruh. I keep running into damage. Thank you, finally. Oh. Alright, here's my final verdict for Zenitsu. Overall, he's not a bad character because his first, second attack literally could be used spammed. And his six-fold has an iframe that I wasn't expecting. His fourth attack, Thunder God, it seems like it's decent damage against bosses. Is it the highest? No, it's not. But it's an okay iframe, and I think it gives you a speed boost after using it. So I do think he's a good character. Alright, I'm gonna play Zenitsu right around here. So Saber is great with bosses, not great with regular mobs. I think she does the most amount of damage to bosses. Gojo has a long range attack for ultimate, and his regular attacks are pretty decent, but he's more of an overall character. Whereas for Rimuru, he's the best when it comes to mobile players, or for those of you who want an easy time. And if you have Zenitsu with the best gear, he's probably one of the best for speedruns. So he might actually be the very best just because he can do runs quicker. But as you saw, like, I wasn't purposely taking damage on purpose. Just the way he is makes me take more damage. So he's kind of like a glass cannon. Todoroki has huge hitboxes, kind of like Rimuru, but his range is slightly shorter while he does slightly more damage. So he's just a less family-friendly version of Rimuru, but he does more damage. Then there's Megumin. I don't know, I think she's just straight up buggy. She needs to be fixed. Right now, she's the only 1600 gem unit that I don't feel comfortable with. So there we go, guys. I don't think I really clearly gave you guys a best character just because a lot of them seems to be good for different purposes. And with that being the case, I think I reviewed every single 1600 unit. Anything below that, I guess the tips is I think Itadori is pretty good. Tanjiro's okay, but I think he's just a Walmart version of Zenitsu. Sakura's the only healer out here. Deku and Ichigo is one of the best starting characters. Like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more. Use Star Code Kelvin when buying Robux so that one day... Oh, AFK. Make sure to go AFK, guys. Make sure to go AFK and get yourself some golden gems. Why not? And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.